What's happening, everybody? I wanted to put together a quick video for the Bose S1 Pro because not only is it a fantastic ceremony speaker, but it's also an incredible speaker just to have for your backyard parties if you're doing yard work and you just want to blast some music without, upsetting your neighbors. This thing works really well. So we've used this for quite a few parties so far. We've just had it playing while we were just hanging in the pool. But today I'm going to show you exactly how I set mine up. And then maybe if you have one and you use it for smaller parties or just for hanging out in the yard, comment below and let me know what you do. So let's go ahead and set this up. So first thing I want to point out is with the carrying bag, which also doubles as a backpack. So rather than just carrying around by the top handle, it has some side storage, so you can put some stuff in the side pockets. I actually have some batteries in here, because you never know when you're going to need some batteries. And it fits in there perfectly. Just close it right up. And it's got a nice handle on the front if you want to carry it long ways. And a second pocket over here. So this bag is definitely pretty good at carrying some small things. But then if you look, the top has this nice huge compartment, and that's where I keep all my goodies. So I got a scrim for the speaker stand, which I'm not using today, power cables, XLR cables, auxiliary cables, all the essentials, and I even have a charge cable and a charging brick for my iPad, which I have over here because we're going to use that today. And of course my microphone and body pack, because it works really well as a standalone ceremony setup. But I'm not going to use all this today except for the power cord for the iPad. So let me go ahead and finish setting this up. So one thing you notice, the Bose logo is actually going up and down instead of left and right. Well, that's because this speaker you can lay on its side, and it actually changes the EQ as opposed to just sitting regular on the table. And you can even put it into an elevated state, and this logo actually moves. So now it actually looks right side up. Aside from just the spinning logo, which is kind of cool, I store my charge cable up here. That way, if I ever do need to charge this thing, the standby is incredible. I'm not even sure how long the standby life is on it, because I will leave this during the off season when I'm not doing weddings, and I'll plug it in just to give it a charge, and it's pretty much almost full. But anyway, let's check out the features. So we've got 3 inputs. We've got 2 combo jacks, which take 1/4 inch and XLR. I have the reverb set all the way down on my microphone. And the bass, depending on the speaker, I kind of leave it 0. And the treble, I'll kind of adjust depending on how loud somebody is. Make sure we got some nice clean sound. And then we've got our volume here. So it's not a gain knob, it's actually a volume knob. I know people love to turn up gain and think it's volume. On this, it's definitely volume. This is not 0. This is loud. That light right here will be green, and that's when it has a signal. But it'll also let you know when you're peaking, so you don't want it too loud. So start it out kind of right there, and then adjust as needed. Get your volume where you want it. Adjust your bass and your treble. If it's a mic, your reverb, and you're good to go. Same thing with input 2. Input 2 I usually have open, or I'll put another mic in. That way if I have the officiant, plug them up to mic 1, I can control the volume. And then for mic 2, if there's a speaker, somebody wants to do a reading, I'll mic them up separately. That way I can turn them down when they're not speaking, and then when they're about to, turn them back up to whatever the sound check volume was, and we're good to go. Originally I was using a cable that went from the 3.5 millimeter into the iPad into an XLR, but I was kind of wasting an input considering there's a third one for auxiliary. Now this Bluetooth is a little tricky, because if you pair it to your phone and then forget about it, when you go to turn this on again, it pairs to your phone. So you want to make sure that you don't leave your phone connected to it, or make sure that when you turn this on, you disconnect from your phone, your tablet, whatever it may be. Last thing you want is a phone call to come through on this during a ceremony. Hasn't happened to me because I went ahead and turned that off, but it will connect as soon as you turn it on, so don't do that. Or make sure you turn this all the way down when you're not using it, and then go ahead and do your sound check. Plug in your iPad, get the perfect volume. I typically turn my iPad all the way up. That way I don't have to worry about messing with the volume rockers on the iPad, and then I can adjust the volume from here. If I do happen to have this speaker elevated at a fairly high height, I'm 6'1", so I can reach it even if it is high. I can at least adjust it on the iPad if I need to turn it down a little bit. I want to get my sound checked for all of these exactly the way I want them, and then I just leave them alone, and I'll use the iPad rocker for when I'm dimming music for their processional after they are finished with the ceremony, and then basically break this down or change the playlist to the cocktail hour playlist depending on the location. So I use the aux directly and then plug that into my iPad, adjust the volume, good to go. So the other thing on here, there is a line out 1/4 inch, and that's great if the videographer decides that they want to get all of the speeches, the ceremony, anything they need for their video. They'll plug right into that line out, and then they're pretty much good to go. I've only had a couple of people use it just because they usually have their own microphones that they'll throw on the groom, and that way they can capture the vowels. But if my mic is working well as it does, and they have confidence that my mic's going to pick it up, they'll plug into here as a backup. So it does at least have an out. That out you can also use for plugging into a second speaker. So if you have 2 of these, I haven't used it like that. So if you have 2 of these, you can go ahead and run a 1/4 inch cable from here over to another speaker, and then you're good to go. There is a Bose Connect app that you can use. It's Bluetooth. I don't trust Bluetooth. There's too many dropouts. So this line out may be your option if you want to put 2 speakers running out, one into the other. But do it the right way. Inputs are there for a reason. Go out of your mixer, go out of your controller, however your setup is, into each speaker. Set it to however you like, stereo, mono. I leave mine in mono, and these things are fantastic. So I wouldn't recommend these for any more than 100 guests, and that's for indoor setting. But for outdoor, I can do upwards of 150, 200 guests from this one speaker. So it's pretty fantastic. So we got the power cord plug right here, and we got this rocker switch. Go ahead and turn this on. That blue light's going to blink depending on the battery. 4 is full, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's still full. We used this a couple weeks ago, so I'm not surprised that it's full. And it'll stay lit to let you know that it is on. I actually put the sticker on the bottom that they provide for what it means. So 4 flashes means it's 75% charged or more. 1 flash means you've got 10% to 24%. And then of course, if it's flashed red, you need to charge it. It'll work while it's plugged in, which is fantastic. So typically I have a battery generator. I will plug it right in, let it charge, and then when the ceremony is about to start, I'll unplug it. Like I said, I have this spot up here. I'll go ahead and leave the power cord up there. No one can see it. And then I have a second outlet on my battery generator in case I really do need to leave this plugged in, and I can run the mic, or I can run 2 microphones. So basically that's the setup. So let me go ahead and plug this up for what I'm using it for today, and then we'll go ahead and turn it on. Okay, so here are all of the items that I use for my backyard setup, and I might even add this cable to my ceremony setup, but I don't need it since it lasts for like 8 hours anyway. But I have this splitter right here, so this is going to plug into the back of the speaker, so I'll do that now. And then from there I have my charging cable, which I'll plug that in here, because like right now my iPad has like 26%, And then I have my audio cable. So let me get my extension cord. We'll plug this up. All right, go ahead and plug this in. Not so easy one-handed, but boom. All right, so we're plugged in, we're charging. I got the power cord there for the iPad. That's plugged into the back. Make sure that's nice and snug. Then we'll go ahead and plug into the iPad. So there we go. Now I have my speaker charging, even though it's battery powered. I don't have to worry about it dying throughout the day. I have my iPad plugged in charging, so we're ready for that. And now I just need to hook up my auxiliary cable. So we'll plug that in, and we'll plug it in here. We're all set. So now, just need to go ahead and unlock, and we'll start some music. So I use my Apple Music. We'll go to radio, and we'll just put on some pure pop, some current pop hits. So I'm going to turn down the volume for the auxiliary. Let's go ahead and choose a station. Of course, Old Town Road. And we're set. I can adjust here if I want to, but I prefer just leave it all the way up, adjust on the speaker. Unless I'm having a party and I want somebody to turn this up for me, I'll just have them come over and hit the volume rocker on the iPad. So there we go. Just go ahead and set this over here. We'll move this under the table. Extension cord we'll tuck out of the way. And now you have a nice little compact backyard sound for a backyard party, doing some yard work, which I need to. Yeah, I'm filling up the pool right now, but it's a nice distance, nice throw. Still got some bass. Covers the whole yard, and it's not even turned all the way up. I got it behind that screen. I just threw on some royalty-free music. Not even halfway up. So, plenty loud. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the description below for all of the links to the speaker, to the cable that plugs into the back of the speaker that gives you another outlet. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows where to get an iPad. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.